and beyond.
Now, your eyewitness weather forecast.
And a very good Tuesday evening to everybody. I'm meteorologist Jordan Reed, tracking several severe thunderstorm warnings across our area. One of them was just issued, so let's get right to our live camera right now over downtown Utica, looking toward the west. And we do have some raindrops on the camera right now, and even a little bit of lightning right before we came back to, or right before we went to the break in downtown Utica right now. And you can see here it's already 64 degrees with that rain cool there, 68 in Syracuse, 69 in Old Forge. But still, where the storms haven't hit just yet in Dallsville, it's still 85 degrees, and it got up to 86, believe it or not, in downtown Utica earlier today. So it felt summer-like, and this was the warmest day that we had in 175 days. You'd have to go back to election day of last year, almost 6 months ago, to find temperatures that were at or above 80 degrees. We weren't quite record-breaking, but we were certainly close to it. We just missed it by a few degrees. So again, we have that severe thunderstorm warning. I know it's kind of hard to see for eastern Madison, eastern Oneida County, including Utica, Rome, until 6:30 p.m. But when we were in the break, we also had one just issued for central Herkimer County, northwestern Fulton, as well as most of southern and central Hamilton County until 6:45 p.m. And that's for, again, the strong winds as well as the potential for some hail. So these storms are moving kind of from west to east along the thruway here at anywhere from 40 to 55 miles an hour. So that's the good news, is that they're moving quickly. But in the quick time that they're over you, they can still do a tremendous amount of damage. So here's a look at, again, those severe thunderstorm warnings I was just telling you about. And for all of those counties that I just mentioned, there is also, as well as Lewis County, there is a severe thunderstorm watch in that kind of tannish or maroon or burgundy color until 10 p.m. this evening for the development of thunderstorms that may become strong to severe, because this is kind of a prefrontal trough that we're dealing with. We'll be dealing with rounds of thunderstorms until this front moves through around 9, 10 o'clock this evening. So again, all severe hazards are possible. We're mainly focusing right now on the wind and the hail, as well as the heavy rain and lightning, but an isolated or scattered tornado cannot be ruled out. We've had several of those across Pennsylvania, but it is mainly just a line of storm. So straight line wind damage will be the main impact. And again, the greatest risk is from the western portions of our viewing area. So again, it's a little bit ahead of this schedule, but even at 8 o'clock tonight, as the sun is going down, we'll still be dealing with showers and some heavier thunderstorms to the south and east of the Utica-Rome area. And then after 10 p.m. this evening, the front will move through, and that threat will come to an end, and we'll have temperatures overnight tonight between 45 and 50. And despite a plentiful amount of sun tomorrow, we'll have temperatures 30 degrees cooler than today. So that means most of us will be between 55 and 60. And then it gets even warmer as we go through Thursday with the southeasterly wind. So again, we'll have thunderstorms early tonight, clearing after, or cloudy after midnight, and clearing as well. 44 for the low, and the westerly winds making it feeling even chillier. Tomorrow, 55, clouds and sun. It'll be cooler. We'll have more clouds in the morning, more sun in the afternoon. And Thursday, we do have a lot of clouds, but it feels warmer, 65 to 70. And then we could be looking at some showers and maybe a heavier thunderstorm or two as we go through Friday. That lingering into Saturday, but you'll notice the weekend is cooler, both days between 55 and 60. Then it looks quiet to start next week.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to next week. Maybe just a little quiet, but what are some ways that people can make sure that they know when these thunderstorms are happening?
CNYhomepage.com is a great resource, the CNY homepage app as well. And I know several of our phones went off a few minutes ago with that latest severe thunderstorm warning. And just looking at that picture behind you, you can see why it's definitely deteriorated within the last even 3 or 4 minutes that we've been talking.
Yeah, it definitely has. Thank you for that, Jordan.
Absolutely.
Coming up next on Eyewitness News at 6.
Nye Automotive Group. Come see why it's gotta be Nye. Now, your eyewitness weather forecast.
And a very good Tuesday evening to everybody. I'm meteorologist Jordan Reed. It definitely looks and feels a lot different than it did, let's say, 4 or 5 hours ago, when we had several areas of showers and thunderstorms, some of which were strong to severe, moving through. And as we take a live look right now at downtown Utica, that is the case over Varick Street, where it is currently 66 degrees. We still have a south-southwesterly wind at 5 miles an hour. That's because the cold front itself hasn't moved through yet, but over the next 1, 2, 3 hours, it will, and that dew point and the temperature will come down as the wind switches around to the northwest. So again, 66 right now, still in downtown Utica. Canjo is at 60 right now. Syracuse still at 69, but still a good 20 degrees cooler than when we had temperatures above what we forecasted today. So that means we had temperatures in the 80s area-wide, even up into the elevations, which were only expected to get into the middle and upper 70s. You had low to mid 80s there too, but I don't think anybody was complaining about it, and that's because of the fact that we had more sunshine this morning than we were expecting. 86 degrees in downtown Utica wasn't a record, but it was close, and we also had the warmest day since 25 weeks ago, which was Election Day, November 5th, 2024, when it was 80 degrees that day. So very June or July-like as opposed to the end of April here. So this is the front moving through right now. We have some pockets of heavier rain coming through the Syracuse area, and as you expect, the trend this afternoon is that it's moving from, the trend was from this afternoon into this evening for it to be moving from west to east, and it'll do so over the next 1 to 3 hours, but non-severe. So that's the reason why all of these severe thunderstorm watches and warnings have been allowed to expire. And the reason why this is in a weaker state is because this was the prefrontal trough that moved through between 6 to 9 p.m. this evening, and that took all of the energy with it for this second line of storms to work with, the cold front itself, and that, and also it's moving through after dark, so it naturally has less energy to work with anyway. It doesn't have much sunlight to work with. But over the next 1 to 3 hours, we'll see that cold front move through, and temperatures during the overnight hours will drop into the 40s, maybe even the 30s up north, as I'll show you in a second. We'll have a west-northwesterly wind during the day tomorrow. We'll have morning clouds, afternoon sun, but temperatures struggling to get into the 50s, which is seasonably cool. We should be right around 63 this time of year, and of course nowhere near that 86 that we had today. We'll have an increase in clouds tomorrow night into Thursday morning, and then Thursday we'll have a lot of clouds during the day, but it looks dry for the most part, other than an isolated scattered shower or two, and temperatures getting up into the 60s once again. 44 overnight tonight with those thunderstorms early, cloudy after midnight, and we'll have winds out of the west at 15 to 25 miles an hour. Most of us from the valley on south will be into the lower and middle 40s, but there could be some areas that do get into the lower and middle 30s during the overnight hours, like Old Forge at 32. 55 for tomorrow with morning clouds, afternoon sun, significantly cooler than today by about 30 degrees. And we'll have that west-northwesterly wind 10 to 20, just adding to the cool factor. And temperatures, again, up toward the north, struggling to get out of the 40s, and you may see temperatures down south reaching 60 if we're lucky. So Thursday's warmer, 67, so between 65 and 70 for most of us, with a warmer feel in spite of the fact that we'll have a lot of clouds. And then it looks like we could see some showers and maybe a heavier thunderstorm or two as we go through Friday, but it doesn't look like we'll see anything as intense as we saw today, and we'll have temperatures that day in the low 70s. No,
I mean, you said it. No one was complaining. I certainly wasn't when I walked out of my apartment this morning. 86 degrees. It was a beautiful day.
Absolutely. Too bad we weren't able to enjoy it all the way through the sunset, though, because of the fact that we did have showers and thunderstorms. But once those storms moved out, most of us got to see a pretty sunset, so that was nice.
Definitely. The sunset did look amazing out there. Thank you so much, Jordan. The Utica Pioneers baseball team...
Now, your eyewitness weather forecast.
And a very good Tuesday evening to everybody. I'm meteorologist Jordan Reed, tracking some more rain moving through downtown Utica right now, thanks to that cold front moving through it. And there's a live look right now at Barrack Street, where currently it is 64 degrees, but because the front is moving through, we have a west-northwesterly wind at 8 miles an hour. And that temperature is actually going to be warmer than it's going to be during the day tomorrow. So temperatures right now for most, if not all of us, into the 60s, but in Old Forge it's already 59, and you can see the colors changing, more of that brown as opposed to the yellow, which means that some cooler temperatures are starting to sneak in, and certainly cooler than it was earlier today when we had temperatures area-wide a good 5 degrees above where I expected them to be, but nonetheless we had temperatures into the lower and middle 80s. 86 degrees in Utica marks the warmest day in 175 days. Almost 6 months ago, Election Day, November 5th, 2024, was the last time we had temperatures up into the 80s, and it felt pretty nice out there because we had low humidity. That's because of the fact that we had a lot of sun this morning as opposed to more clouds, which also added the fuel to this afternoon and this evening's thunderstorms. The good news is that the storms that we're dealing with out there right now, not only will they dissipate over the next 1 to 2 hours, but because most of the energy was taken up by the storms we had around 6 to 9 p.m. this evening, they're not reaching severe limits. So we're certainly seeing some heavy rain here in Utica but not anything severe like the wind and the hail that we saw earlier this afternoon. Certainly not the lightning that we had either. So for the next 1 to 2 hours, we'll see that shower and thunderstorm threat come to an end, and we'll just be left with cloudy skies. But we'll also have a northwesterly wind, so that means temperatures during the overnight hours will be in the 30s and 40s. And as we go through the day tomorrow, in spite of the fact that we'll have an abundant amount of sunshine, we'll have a northwesterly wind, and that means temperatures during the day tomorrow will be seasonably cool, upper 50s, maybe some middle 50s for us as well. And then we'll see an increase in clouds tomorrow night into Thursday morning, and most of the day Thursday looks dry, but it's on the warmer side. 44 overnight tonight with, again, those thunderstorms early, coming to an end between midnight 1 a.m. and then cloudy after that, and we'll see sunrise tomorrow morning at 5:58. And again, those westerly winds 15 to 25 miles an hour, ushering in the cooler air that we'll see during the day tomorrow. So from the thruway points to the south, it looks like we'll be in the 40s overnight, but we'll see some upper and maybe even some middle 30s, close to the freezing point as you head up into the southern Adirondacks for the day tomorrow. In spite of abundant sunshine in the afternoon, we'll see morning clouds, 55 degrees for the high. We should be right around 63 for this time of year, and certainly nowhere near the 80s that we had today. And we will also have a west-northwesterly wind, 10 to 20 miles an hour, just adding to the cool factor. But there will be some exceptions to that. Areas to the north may be struggling to get out of the upper 40s, and maybe some areas along the Interstate 88 corridor getting up into the 60s if you're lucky. But again, most of us will be in the 50s tomorrow. That changes as we go through Thursday. We'll be between 65 and 70. It'll feel warmer and in spite of the fact that we'll have a lot of clouds. And then we could see some more showers and maybe a rumble of thunder or two as we go through Friday, 71. I don't think we'll see anything severe like we saw today, but certainly something I'll be watching over the next couple of days. Saturday, it's cool, wet, and raw. Once again, 55 to 60 is the high, and we'll see more rain that day as well. And then Sunday is looking like the better of the 2 weekend days with a lot of sunshine, but still seasonably cool, upper 50s to around 60.
I'm definitely looking forward to some of that warmer weather, Jordan. And, you know, we hear the rain right now outside of the studio, but I'm also looking forward to some of that sun tomorrow.
Absolutely, and I'm definitely looking forward to the sunshine as well, especially after today's severe thunderstorms.
Yeah, again, you can hear it right now, and we heard it a lot earlier.
Absolutely.
Yep. Thank you so much, Jordan. Coming up next on Eyewitness News.